is being recorded.
Alrighty, thank you once again. Oh, there we go. Let me see. So, yeah, as always, please do not hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions.
All right.
We see that Tully has the sun in Scorpio and also the let me see. Okay. Yeah, the sun in Scorpio and also the moon in Aries, which is awesome. This is actually the Candace who I do the Midheaven podcast with is Aries moon Scorpio sun. So I
Oh my
definitely
God, that's awesome. I love
yeah.
her, so that makes sense.
Right.
That's awesome.
I love it because like it's still very much a Scorpio vibration, but the Aries moon makes it so different. It's like the
Yeah.
Scorpio that still can be like raw and it adds so much to that purity. So this is actually the vibration. Oh my goodness. You know what's even crazier? Candace also has a Libra rising and he has a
No,
Libra.
she doesn't.
Yes, she
That
does.
is insane.
That's wild. Yeah. That's
Wow.
wild. Holy crap. So
Wow. I have to
yeah,
contact her and be like, tell me everything.
actually, yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
her readings are on another level too. So it would definitely be worth it to reach out to her, see
That's so
what
cool.
insight she can gain. Yeah. She's really lit. How did
So are you. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So and as always, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions whatsoever.
Got it.
Um oh crap. So that being said, we know that you fall in his we know that you fall in his 12th house because he's a Libra rising. So
Okay.
what I learned about 12th house placements and people who fall in the 12th house, you see their blind spots. It's a soulmate house because now the 12th house is the hidden house of people's unconscious habits, but also what they keep hidden, and also the supernatural sense of them. So unconsciously, you'll definitely be a major influence in how analytically your son is able to realistically, tap in and be aware, and you feel, and also you be an instrument of said behavioral elements of his personality. Because as a Libra rising now, he's an artist. He's the artist. And as the artist, he's the original Dark Lord or pure king, right? The original transformer or Scorpio can also be purity, right? So authentic purity, original purity. And this is cool because like myself or like many second house sons, he's a boss. So his son is in the second house. Whereas, and so to give context for that, once again, I'm a Taurus rising individual sign, and my Gemini second house sun is individual. So I manifest my spirit. The awareness of now how people like yourself will pay me, because the second house is how you make money, is in exchange for me individually one-on-one communicating. So your son has the higher level of this, where Libra is a social personality, Scorpio is a social value. Scorpio's second house is actually the second most wealthy zodiac sign for the second house, because it's underground pure value. In a sense, intangible. But the way I like to see Scorpio to Taurus is Scorpio is the underworld, and we know that gems are excavated from the underworld, and then they pipeline to Taurus to be polished, and then of course appraised, valued, and sold. So we do see, and oh my God, he was born 2021. So he has Uranus in Taurus. I forgot. This is next level, and he has North Node Gemini. So this is very deep. Especially even seeing his North Node on your MC So he's someone who's going to be destined to align you and challenge you, or you'll challenge him to reach his destiny, but someone who's going to align to your legacy and really getting that message out there, which I really look forward to speaking on because this is actually really powerful. But Uranus here, opposite his sun, is going to really make for a dynamic nature, just like the moon in his seventh house. With Chiron, will have him be a soul healer, where he'll be triggered by inauthenticity from other people, but he'll also trigger authenticity in other people. And so at such a young age, because the moon in Aries is a baby soul. Aries correlates to 0 to 2 years old. So at such a young age, Aries moons will come into their identity very boldly. And this is someone that has a Libra rising, his social personality now. And Libra rising alone is such a unique rising sign because it flips everything on its head. So the Libra rising represents balance. I think it's fascinating actually because every time we look at family synastry, there's always certain points that are just so faded, right? Like, for example, his rising is 5 degrees Libra, where you have Mars 4 degrees. So he's an instrument of your action. This could be so
Wow.
intuitive where, and let me know if this resonates with you, but like Mars is of course your action, so every time you take action he may mirror this intuitively, like even indirectly, where like you could pick up a newspaper when he decides to pick up a toy or something like that. Or it could really just be him being an instrument of how socially you take action, how he can mirror that, and how you'll be able to mirror this, because especially now with his rising in Libra, as his personality is social, that means the individual Aries aspect of him he shows to other people so that he can express his individuality in the seventh house towards other people, versus an Aries rising that's solely just focused on themselves and how they act to themselves. So this makes this a powerful rising because now with his moon in the seventh, he legitimately feels other people. And Chiron is
Yeah,
going.
yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's totally fine. Thank you for mentioning that too. And so as a social personality, whereas I manifest enlightenment, he manifests wisdom. Especially with Mercury and Mars, he has a detective's mind. So the sexual or charge or desire that will have him harness more focus towards what he wants is going to add so much determination and stubbornness, but pure focus that it will align his brain to how deeply at such a young age too, because 24 degrees is a master degree at the third decade of the moon, to psychoanalyze and manifest the wisdom of an experience or the quality of what he's bringing to form. So, second house fixed signs manifest quality. Whether he manifest, like this is pure energy he can manifest in a basic sense, wisdom, perspectives of wisdom, but legitimately pure energy. If like an Aries rising will manifest tangible Taurus material, anytime he manifests wisdom socially, it puts him up in a higher income level, because instead of one-on-one like Gemini, it's social here. So it connects with more people. And this is someone who's going to be, if you think of Candace and if you think of we're both second house sons. We're both people who've branded our identity. Like I have the PCO as a brand, she has Beyond the Veils as a brand. This is someone who's going to be able to, creatively manifest his own spirit, and this is very powerful. So he manifests his light force in a way that transform how much more extremely he can harness this wisdom, and whether he converts that into money, whether he converts that into experience through this wisdom, still very very amazing. Because as a Libra rising, he is the artist. So now on his palette, the third house Sagittarius is his ability to communicate adventurously and to, with his attitude, see into the higher meaning. And his third house is now taking the attitude of how philosophical he may be and then express the truth. And so a lot of his destiny this lifetime is to come into his own philosophy and religion of how he lives truthfully and how he allows truth to guide the balancing he represents. Because Libra risings are peace and balance, and so they attract nothing but chaos so they can balance it. And his moon in Aries
Wow.
will guide him towards these situations intuitively. He has Jupiter and Saturn in the fifth. This is a creative genius in a certain sense, where he's able to really discipline how much he loves what he does. Of course, coming of age, he'll more master this. But Jupiter already speaks of very abundant talents of communicating, and also now taking the wisdom he manifests, and whether through detachment, gaining a deeper understanding of the knowledge of that wisdom, so that that pure emotional vibration he manifests is strengthened intellectually. And that's cool because now Jupiter and Saturn is opposite your Jupiter. And so he completes similar to, and that's what I really love, because now Tilly is going to connect with James, where, and I actually have this with my younger sister. So my Jupiter is 15 degrees Cancer, right? And um my youngest sister, who's a Cancer, her sun is 15 degrees Cancer. And so she's like my younger sister, but she acts like my older sister in a way. And like, when Jupiter was actually in Cancer, she was like my guru for a year. And it was amazing because in my life, she's like the Jupiter of my life. Like, she gives me amazing insight, she brings me expansion, abundance. Like, she definitely taught me a lot about how to kind of synthesize certain understanding, especially about Cancer. So we see that his Jupiter is on James' sun. And so this is someone who's going to be a very evolving influence towards his older brother, and also be in a position to kind of clash in a certain way. And that's what I really love about what you manifest. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. Your partner and your sons are kings. Jimmy's the natural king, James is
It's
the high king, Tilly is the pure king. So like,
yeah.
that's a stubborn king's court right there, where they either
Oh
get along
gosh.
really
Well,
well.
but they push me so hard into my feminine, like it's so divine, you know? It really is. And it's, I mean, it's gonna be, I mean, I'm gonna be exhausted for the next 18 years, but it's
Right.
awesome. Like, it's so cool.
I can imagine how your perspective is needed to manifest balance, because like,
Yeah.
only you might be able to analyze how that kind of comes through. And it's really interesting too, because both your children have Uranus and Taurus. And so Jimmy is going to play a large role in stimulating that, and
Yeah.
really harnessing more eccentricity. But this can also play out in rebellion towards him. But I mean,
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I can see
right,
that big
right.
time.
But I
They're gonna
mean,
really
oh,
trigger him, but in the best way.
oh, wow. No, that's really interesting. That's really interesting too, because once again, we also see that, unlike now James, you and Tully have Saturn and Aquarius. So both of you have similar karmic lessons. And what I love about this is he was born like, literally, he's your Saturn return lesson, which is so beautiful, because
Yeah.
like, you had Saturn
And
Aquarius.
everything you described about him, like he brought that to me. Like like when I was pregnant with him, I mean, pregnancy is special in general, but like when I was pregnant with him, it was so different than when I was pregnant with James. In my perspective, like he changed me in a new way, you know? It's so
Oh,
cool. Yeah. And
yeah.
him and Jimmy have like a thing. Like Tully and Jimmy are like, they have like a Scorpio thing. I don't know. Is it because they have opposite? I don't even know. Jimmy Scorpio moon and Tully Scorpio sun. Like they have a thing though. Like they click. It's wild.
Aha. So Jimmy has a
Yeah.
Scorpio moon. Right, right, right. So yeah, he was born on the full moon. So he has a soulmate connection with him. So he
Yeah.
understands
It's
Tilly very strongly.
yep. I figured that was gonna
That's
happen.
so awesome.
They have opposite north and south node too. I'm pretty sure because Tully's north node is Taurus, right?
Yeah.
And
But
Jimmy's
no,
is Scorpio.
Tully's North Node is Gemini, but it's so
Oh,
close to Taurus. Yeah.
okay,
If
yeah. Okay,
so, both Tully and James look like both have North Node in Gemini, which is very key. But
okay,
it's so close to Taurus, like his son, his like Jimmy's son will progress onto there and has already,
okay.
but that's so deep, it's so close to a double whammy where his moon was almost in Taurus. there is going to be this pure closeness between those two, where he
Yeah.
will understand him, and then of course, Tully will see Jimmy's soul. And this is where, even though they oppose each other and they will stubbornly clash, because of that moon connection, there'll be so much more understanding that'll bring them closer together too, which is really awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have something that it's not that James and him don't, but like James and I have something, and then obviously not that Tully and I don't have it, but like Jimmy and Tully have a thing. Like I've been saying that, and he's only 4 months old. Like they have a thing. It's crazy.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because we know that Tully has an Aries moon, and then James has a Sag moon. So they both got fire souls. I bet like they feel just like firecrackers together, just like the the fire and the wildfire coming
I'm gonna
together.
be.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Aquarius. So
And it's cool how you said about his adventurous like side. That's gonna, and I remember you saying in one of your videos, Aries loves Sag, right? Like, and Tully, the way Tully looks at James is so special too. It's so, that's so.
yeah, Sag loves Aries, but it's definitely mutual. It's vice versa. And I love that you said that, because James is going to bring so much expansion and evolution. Like James is going to bring his Jupiter to life, and Saturn
Yeah.
to a degree too. He's going to help really, and because that's his 5th house, he's going to really stimulate a lot of creativity. So whereas you're in his 12th house, and you're going to help transcend a lot of his like old habits or unconscious habits, he is in your 3rd house. So he's also going to influence greatly your behavior and how, extremely, because you have Pluto here. So with Pluto here, with both of you having, he has Pluto, James has Pluto in Sag, but with you having Pluto in Scorpio, you're going to impact him very intensely and extremely. And
Wow.
how he very intensely influences your mindset, and actually also helps open up more of your ideas. So people with the 3rd house like this will finish your sentences, or they'll just kind of get an idea of how you think, and you'll develop a lot of your mindset, and vice versa. And then of course he's going to feel into your boundaries with his moon in your 8th. And so that can bring clashes, but the cool thing is Scorpio and Virgo are besties. So you're definitely going to have a best friend connection with him in
Oh
a very
yeah.
interesting way.
He like he's telepathy all, like I'm like, whoa, what? And like he talks to me, it's crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. They
Wow.
both are, but I mean James does it, but not as much as Tully. Like Tully and I telepathy, it's crazy. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. This is just making so much sense.
No, and it's good to know that you have strong telepathy with him too. That definitely makes a lot more sense, especially seeing that all your Leo energy is in his 11th house. So your influence will expand his social circle, oddly enough.
Oh,
Even if you just influence him to be more social, like a lot of you're gonna really expand a lot of how he not only, and here's a way to see this, because with Jupiter in his 5th, this is his talented ability to like maybe write a program or write a screenplay or write a song. And then with you having the 11th house energy, you complete that with like bringing the people around for him to perform to. It's like you can help
wow.
bring the whole audience for him to like now complete his knowledge with how boldly, but see that completion will challenge him to be less detached, especially in a Scorpio, to come out the comfort zone and express this too. But I mean, it's
So
something.
I'm like bringing that social. I feel like that's who I am to this family. Like I'm kind of like holding, like I'm bringing us socially. Like I'm holding that social space for them. It feels,
Right.
Sorry, you could hear them in the background. Sorry, keep going. I'm just eating all this up.
Yeah, that's no problem. So yeah, I mean, when we kind of look deeper into this, right? We see he has Venus in Capricorn, And Venus here is on your Neptune and Uranus, and the North Node, and of course he has Pluto and Cap as well. So this is, oh wow, this is very important because concerning this, his IC is in Capricorn. And one thing I noticed with Libra risings, my youngest sister is a Libra rising, and uh, fourth house Capricorn can sometimes feel chained because Capricorn is very rigid. So the way his private inner family world is going to be organized, I know for my younger sister, she couldn't really go out like that. She was born 94, but like, she would be more like, oh, you're a girl, so you can't go out too late, stuff like that. It took her until even mid-20s for my mom to kind of give her more freedom. But this is going to be different from him as a man, but also that fourth house Capricorn in the IC is just going to denote how private he is. If his Venus was in the 10th house, he would desire to be more public with his emotions. But in the fourth, this is a reserved, private person with a heart of integrity who's very no nonsense and serious in his approach towards love and beauty. And with Pluto,
Wow.
he's very extreme too. This is someone who could be very obsessive and obsessively controlling. And Scorpio is very bossy. So there's that too. But this is someone definitely knows how to organize his heart. It's kind of very gangster too. And it aligned with your North Node will help challenge a lot of these Capricorn themes you're coming into creatively as a Virgo rising. So with Venus, he's going to stimulate a lot of your creativity quite extremely, but also your psychic ability. I think this is where the telepathy comes in too.
Yeah.
Opposite the MC, and his MC of careers in your 11th house of friendships and rewards from career. So it's really gonna do really good for how you help build each other up. And your Venus in Leo will connect with his Venus in Cap to integrate a lot of your creativity with how he organizes things. But Venus in Leo to Earth placements, I have Venus in Taurus, and Venus in fire signs can make us uneasy because we're sitting down, just chilling, and Venus in fire is like, get up and dance. And it's not a bad thing. It gets us off our comfort zone, but that's just like the disconnect a little bit. Like having him be less earth and more fire. But guess what? His moon in Aries is going to feel that and it's going to love that. So this is how that kind of clashes, because with moon in Aries, he's going to have that perpetual clash between how much he feels he wants to be passionate towards others versus his heart that wants to just be private and chill. Like
Okay.
oh, please go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just said okay. That makes sense. It honestly sounds very similar to Jimmy in some ways. So yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's really interesting too, because Jimmy to me feels like, and that's really, so Jimmy may in certain ways look up to Tully too, because whereas James may look up to Jimmy in the sense where Taurus looks up to Aquarius and Aquarius looks up to Scorpio, even though they all clash with each other, which is very interesting. But oh yeah, but oddly enough, we do see a higher advanced nature with Jimmy that Tully is going to be able to learn so much from and evolve so much through and structure. And it's just with the moon in Aries, this is someone who's very dynamic, bold, and very, very, very like Aries moons are like get warriors inside. Like they'll cut you if they get angry, right? But the Libra rising is so opposite. Like he's so charming, he's so balanced. Like it can really throw people off if they don't really know him like that well. So it's really interesting. But if we look now at the composite chart you both share, both of you now have your chart 19 degrees Libra Sun on his first house, Mars, Libra, Sun, Venus, and Scorpio. So that means that the central nature of and the moon's in Cancer, and then the rising's in Virgo, 22 degrees. Oh my gosh, get this. The North Node is 24 degrees in the seventh house on Uranus. So both of you are destined to be together. Both of you are destined to kind of establish this, right? But you manifest balance, second house Libra. So this does seem like a working partnership, even if it's not anything professional business, like the way you both kind of weave together ideas and communicate, which we'll see as he comes into more early teens, you know, or young adulthood, this is very dynamic, especially with Libra now. The whole central nature of the relationship he identifies with. It mirrors his personality and how you're able to direct cardinally this powerful connection, because sincere balance, moon in Cancer, which is in its dignity, and then sun in Libra, is this deeper understanding of the psychic undertones of the balance you manifest socially with each other. It's very powerful, especially with Mars, very charged intellectually, and then it connects with Neptune, which adds this psychic. This is also a part of the telepathic connection that will add this like already known psychic understanding into how this integrates the collective knowledge of what you're both aware socially. So both of you will just pick up on social cues that maybe other people will and share that laugh together like Virgo and Scorpio do. And this is right. It's also very amazing because Jupiter is in Scorpio, so he holds the evolution of this connection too, where he'll always bring insights to glean into this. And it's so close to his 24-degree sun. It adds to that very miraculously. Chiron is in Gemini, his in Aries, and yours in Leo meets to really bring this healing communication. So once again, as he's older, to really come into deep conversations, both of you are going to have like very amazing, enlightening conversations that on your North Node align you more to your destiny and align him more to how he's destined to live his life and form his philosophy. So once again, very, very, very amazing. And I'm going to send you this recording as well right now too.
All right. I'm crying again.
Oh,
great.
word. That's amazing.
You're making this Virgo cry. Like,
Right.
wow. It just like it just resonates so hard. Like it's so insane. It's so insane. And it's so crazy because my sister's a Scorpio, but we were like thick as thieves. We don't really speak anymore. A lot of shit happened, awakening, all that shit. But
Yeah.
like he's like an extension of that for me. Like, it's that's so crazy.
Right.
It's
For
just
real.
so cool.
Well, this was super awesome. I'm so honored I got to really look into all this with you. And I'm going to assume that I can post this one too. So,
Yeah, this one.
so I'll make sure to schedule it for sure. And yeah, I definitely look forward to keeping in touch with you, and you stay blessed as always.
You too. Thank you so much. You are seriously the bomb. I love you, and I'm gonna probably go listen to more of your Transit talk. So,
Sweet. Awesome.
you are the best.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
what I'm also going to do is I'm going to share a discount code so that whenever you want to order anything, you'll get 50% off anytime.
Great. Wow. Thank you.
No problem. You stay blessed as always.
All right, with my 3 kings, I'll try. Thank you.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.